Hey, today's topic, while comical, the seven sense. I see living people. Often when we lose loved ones, the first thing that happens, the word gets around, people find out, and they come over to comfort, right? And one thing I want you guys to understand about other people: death makes people weird. Death is not something, well, it does happen every day, but it doesn't happen to a particular person or a particular group or a particular family every day. It's not something, we talk about. When I grow up, I want to get married and I want to have my wedding, and we talk about where we want to live and what car we want to drive and our families, and we pick out kids' names. Nobody sits around and says, yeah, when I die, I want a super cool casket, and I want only roses, and yeah, I want this person to sing at my funeral, and I think I want, this person to do my eulogy. It's not something we prepare for. It's not something we talk about. So when it comes up, it's just not something we are ready for. And as bereaving family members, when outsiders of the immediate family come around, please remember that they're grieving too, right? This person was not their parent or not their sister or not their brother, but they were special to them too. So remember that grief doesn't just affect you. And as we say, grief is an individual process. So it makes people act weird. It's similar to being in love. Think about it. When you like that person and you are all giddy, and whenever they come around, you get goofy, you don't know what to say, you're all jittery, and more often than not, what comes out of your mouth is not what was in your head. Like, you do kind of practice, right? What you want to say, you're in the mirror, like, okay, when I see him in gym today, I'm going to say this, or I'm going to do that. And then when you see him, it comes out, for the better, right? Kind of the same with grief and other people. They don't know what to say. And they know you're hurting, they're hurting, and I'm sure in their head they had something really awesome and comforting to say. But when they saw you, it just came out. And oftentimes people are trying so hard. They don't want to hurt your feelings. That's the last thing they want to do. They're really probably just trying to tiptoe around your feelings and not say anything, and they apologize profusely, and then that can get annoying. But grieving can be one of those selfish times. But while it has its selfish moments, take those times to realize that other people are grieving too. It's kind of selfish because we get possessive, right, of the person that died. They weren't they're my, and you kind of like don't want people to talk about them. Why are you talking about them? You don't get to talk about them. But they loved them too, right? Hopefully the person you lost was awesome. They were amazing, and they meant so much to so many people. Grieving alone is a terrible thing. But when you have a community around you, it makes the journey through the grief hallway just a little better. Talking about a person keeps them alive. Early on, when it's settling into our mind that they're actually gone, the first thing people do is start telling stories. They remember, the big stories and the trips and those big moments. And it's their way of processing their grief. They're not out to hurt you. They're not. They really love you. And they're trying to make you feel better. And because this makes them feel better, they think it makes you feel better. So they're just doing this so you remember happy times. They're just trying to pick up your spirits. They don't mean to make you sadder. Which brings me to my last point. Don't just see the people. See the love. You know how sometimes when things come across really goofy or you see people doing stuff and you can tell, oh, poor thing. They're just trying so hard. When you're grieving, it can sometimes be hard to see that. But if you just take a moment, consider the people, right? Most of these people, I'm sure you've known them your whole life. You've grown up with them. You've seen them frequently, and you know their characteristic and that's not their normal behavior, right? They're not a vindictive person. They're not mean and hateful. Well, there are those people that will come around, but let's stay in context. And these people love you too. They didn't just love them, they love you. That's why they're there. If it was just them they love, they would just stay home and grieve and be like, oh yeah, that's so sad. I guess I'll go to the funeral. No, they came around because they want to support you. Now their love may come out awkward, as we talked about, may be super weird. And sometimes they really say the wrong thing and it comes off insensitive. But you just kind of have to pat them on the head. So, it's so sweet. Think about it. The more people you have, the more love. Now, you ever heard the statement of love you to death? Ugh. Sometimes that can happen. I remember after Sydney passed away, you know, the first day or so it was okay, but then people just kept coming to the house and they wouldn't go home. They just stayed and talked and talked and talked. And at some point in my head, I just said, I want you to go home so I can go to sleep. I never said it to them, and I knew they meant well. I just wanted to go to bed. But the more people, the more love. That was me. Some people don't want to be alone, right? So if you have those people around, take advantage of them. Take the love that they give you. If you don't need it right then, store it for the next time. Because I guarantee you, if they came on Monday, they'll be back on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and possibly Friday. All the love that they used to pour into your loved one, now they're going to give it to you. It's your inheritance. You didn't even know you had it. And it may be short-lived, depending on their relationship, right? It may be that, you know, they come around and they see you right when everything happened. You may see them for another couple of weeks, and maybe you hear from them every blue moon. It may be somebody who was really involved in their life, and they want to stay involved with you. And remember, as we've said before, you can control the narrative. So depending on the relationship, if you know the person, if it feels like it's too weird, if it's too much right now, don't be afraid to speak up and say, you know, I just need some time now. And as I'm adjusting to this, I'll reach out to you and let you know, when I'm ready to get back into the swing of things. It's almost like dating again, right? You've suffered a loss and you don't know when you want to get back out there and engage with other people because you're healing right now. The core in all of this is love. And love has a huge spectrum. People do a lot of weird things when love is involved. But for you, my friends, I want you to see the love that the people have for you. And for those people who don't mean well, just discount their comments, really, because I'm pretty sure you're going to have more people that love you and say the right thing than those other people who just come up and really do have snide remarks, and you can just chuck them off. I hope you're enjoying my content. I'm really excited about this channel. I've got a lot more things coming up, a lot more topics to cover, some that are kind of dark, some that are a little lighter. If there's something that you want to talk about that you don't already see here, put it in the comments and let me know what you want to hear. I'll see you next week.